Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Perspective on this wet Thursday evening. We had some little thunderstorms roll through here. We want to welcome everyone. We appreciate you being here. Kind of excited about this topic. I think it's going to be hot and heavy. And whenever you're talking about people's kids, it's get pretty sensitive around here. So
People
anyway,
really sensitive about their children.
say again.
People be super sensitive about their children.
Indeed, they do. Indeed, they do.
Some
Um,
people.
so, as we always do at the top of the show, just to kind of give a little disclaimers, just to kind of we're going to introduce ourselves, but the main thing about the perspective is our platform and our purpose for being here is right there in the name. It's really about different perspectives, different points of views. People have a wide variety of lived experiences, things, and knowledge, and that they've come across. And we feel that if you share those things, even if they differ, it still brings us closer together. Someone may pose a point, give you an example that will at least evoke thought. And whenever you start thinking for yourself, I think that's a part of growth. And so that's what we do here. So this is a safe tree. This is a safe place to share your opinions, share your perspectives without feeling like you'll get ridiculed or outcast. So we welcome it all. It doesn't make anyone right or wrong, just simply different. So, with that being said, my name is Eric Butler, aka the Intellect, aka the Atlantic, aka Cullinan 8, the biggest diamond ever found on land. Yeah, I'm 3,000 and something plus carats. That's what they told me. So, anyway,
Who told you that?
huh?
Who told you that?
Well, I don't want to give the individual's name out, Plus, I am a brother of a particular fraternity um, that has an affinity for the diamond because we're made under heat and pressure. So I'll just say that. And for those who know, you know.
We know.
Now, but with that being said, I have a background in talent acquisitions, HR. So my experiences come from a lot of conversations, definitely involved in the community, doing mentorship, being a part of nonprofits that really just helps people not just survive, but to thrive in all areas of life. And I found myself counseling individuals, not only career wise, but on personal aspects and sharing some of my own lived experiences which people have shared that has been helpful to them. And also, I'm a father, a grandfather, I'm a girl dad. So I'll bring a different perspective to the table. And with that being said, I'll hand it over to my co-host. And let me do this. Let me give a shout out to our. We do have I don't want to say third on, but the third part of this trifecta. Keisha Kilolo is out today,
We
and
miss you, Key.
absolutely, absolutely, because she always brings flame, fire, and fuel to the party. She definitely gives a different perspective and challenges those who try to come in watered down. So definitely miss her on that. And when people get out of line, she definitely, gets them back, get them in their lane, so to speak. But with that being said, I'd like to turn it over to my co-host, aka Doc.
Hi, thank you all for being here. My name is Latoya. I am a licensed professional counselor. I'm an author. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I am a dog mom. He might be for sale. I don't even know. He be tripping. I'm also having an amazing conference next weekend on the 18th. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So it's going to be the Unstuck Conference. I'm going to be talking about limiting beliefs, negative thinking, and like how to actually achieve the goals that you're setting for yourself. And I'm super excited about that. March 18th, Arlington at Dwell 247. You can get all of that information on my website. My website is latoyathetherapist.com.
Outstanding, outstanding. Toya, spoiling.
Hey, Randy. Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Randy, what's going on, Mr. Mays? Um, Doc, spoiling your children.
Let's get into it because, I don't think that you can spoil your children.
Already. See what I'm saying? Come out shooting shots right from the beginning.
Yeah,
So,
I
so is
don't
it
think.
love? Is it love or is it enabling or enablement? And so I think we'll start off before we get into the hot and heavy. Um, we'll just give, I guess, a loose definition of what spoiling is and what enablement is. So we'll kind of all be at least on a familiar page.
So
With
enabling is when you protect somebody from their consequences. When you handle everything and cover them in a way to where they do not face their consequences, you start to enable their bad behavior. So, for
Judge.
example, you're the police chief and your son is an addict and he keeps getting DUIs and you keep making him disappear, you are enabling his bad behavior. I saw that on the episode of SWAT. I just want to say that that's why that's in my mind. I really love that show. But
I wanted to piggyback on that. Or if you're a police chief and you know you have police officers on your force who are abusing their authority, who are actually breaking the law, and things like that, and then there is absolutely no consequences to it. It kind of empowers them to keep functioning in that way. So
yes.
great segue on that. And then enabling.
Yeah, that's the enabling, the
I mean,
spoiling, though. Yeah.
spoiling, yes.
I don't know. I think people say that, like, when you overindulge or overengage your child and give them everything that they want, that's spoiling them. I just believe that, I don't know. I just feel like children that look like me need to be spoiled. And I wish there were more Black children who grew up with a sense of privilege. I don't really think that you can spoil them. And I don't think you can spoil babies. You know how old people be like, put the baby down, the baby gonna be spoiled. No, that baby need to feel loved.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think that there's always, again, perspective. There's different, and then there's levels to this. We understand that, but we're gonna crash through all of them if we can.
Let's
You
see
know
what
what
we
I'm
got.
saying? So we're not scared of that. So we have some questions that we're just gonna pose, kind of get some feedback. So to our viewers, definitely don't shy from adding in your comments, questions at that point. So we'll start off with that. We kind of covered what spoiling is, and then we didn't cover what love is. But we could even say is that good parenting that can be plugged in. Is it care? Is it nurturing? All of those are positive adjectives that could be added in there. But we're gonna just we have a smart viewership. And so we're going to suspect that they understand that. Or you can go by the biblical definition, being patient, kind, long suffering, not seeking after your own, those type of things. So, and I'll do this. What are some signs? So what are some signs that your child or your children are spoiled?
Again, I don't think that you can spoil your child, but or maybe I do think they can be spoiled, but maybe I would
See what
like
I'm saying, Doc? I knew you could see.
Maybe I would just like to see more Black and brown children who are spoiled and who show up in the world very audacious. Like that's what I would like to see. But go back to what your question was. Your question was, what are some warning signs? So if we're looking at spoiled from a negative place, and we are assuming that spoiled, it has a negative connotation, and so we're assuming that the child is bad in some way, right? I think one warning sign is going to be consistently acting out when they don't get their way.
Yes.
And by acting out, I mean temper tantrum, hitting, spitting, screaming, cussing.
Throwing fits, and temper tantrums. And so over my short 48 years, I've seen quite a bit of that. And of course, that happens in different levels. So in my research for this show, just kind of a laundry list of things, but those things that just came to me kind of directly, like when children are refusing to accept no.
Yeah.
So, and then also, or if they refuse you or ignore you, that when a
And
child.
so to me, that's not spoiled. That's disrespectful.
Well,
But
okay.
are they disrespectful because they're spoiled?
You keep letting me unload the wagon, and I'll jump right there. They don't respect other people. So it leads into being disrespectful because, of course, what it does is it invokes and gives them a sense of a higher level, because I get what I want when I want it. And this is just, through the studies and the research, that's what it kind of evolved and kind of came out of that. Some of that from medicinenet.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a psychologist, what's her name? Shafali, Dr. Shafali. Shafali, yeah. Pretty now her, and the reason is because she's so controversial on this. Kind of rubbed me, a little funny.
What she
Um,
say? Rub you funny?
yeah, because I'll give it in a synopsis. Her rendition is almost like that. You got to let kids. Well, she balances it out, but if you read it from the surface, it sounds like she's saying, parents really get in the way. Like you're trying to make them another you. You're imposing your thoughts, your values on them without even giving them an opportunity to develop or come to understanding of themselves.
Let me slide in. Let me slide in. I think that's absolutely true. I talk to people all day who don't know who they are, who can't make decisions for themselves, who are like, and I'm like, well, tell me what you value. Well, I don't know. Okay, well, tell me what you like doing. Well, when I was growing up, I was doing this, but I didn't really like it.
Right.
And now you have this adult who like can't function on their own, and they're always like seeking that constant validation. I saw somebody today, beautiful lady, just oh my gosh, but like what's wrong with her? Like she was just, I mean, gorgeous, like got it together, has a nice job, like her apartment looks like the cute apartments on TikTok. Like from the outside looking in, she got it together. She does not have it together. She cannot make a decision without like running it by 50 million people. She won't pursue anything without like asking, well, what you think? Well, what you think? Well, what you want to do? That comes from having an overbearing parent when you were never able to make your own decisions. And now you're an adult and everybody's telling you like, go make your own decision. And you like, I don't know how.
I don't even know how. Right. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I think. I don't know. Been told how to feel, what's right, what's wrong,
what's proper, what's not, where's your
yes,
moral compass,
what's
all
good,
that.
what's bad, and yeah, and so I agreed as she's a prominent speaker, but she also has written a book, and it really challenges individuals, especially if you've already done it the wrong way, because and once you've made that impact on your children, absolutely you're going to walk away with some guilt, and you need to go ahead and accept the fact that you have guilt, because once you accept that, then you can get over that. But I'll leave that to the professional, my partner, Doc over there. But definitely, if I guide people wrong, just correct me, Doc.
Got you.
But also like the dissatisfaction with what they have, so they become, I mean, I think that's the quintessential thing about being spoiled. You can have everything, but then you want more. And you also compare yourself to other people all the time. What somebody else has, you want. And then what
but comparison is the thief of joy.
yes. And what you have, you don't want to share with others. And so those are some signs that your child and children are spoiled. So definitely the tantrums, refusing you, ignoring you, not accepting no. Because if they don't accept no from you, you know that they're not going to accept no from the world. And the way that you will respond when you get a no is not how the world is going to respond. So, matter of fact, we could have said, is it love or is it endangerment? Because because that's what it really puts people in that position. And then they also desire special treatment.
I might be spoiled then because I'm gonna want that special treatment. I want to be VIP wherever I'm at.
I'm not mad. You're more than entitled to your desires and your feelings.
Listen, and gonna pay the extra.
you said and not gonna pay the extra.
I'm going to I'm gonna pay the extra.
Listen, if that's the definition of spoiled, then I am in that number. I'm in the number. But anyway, because I would definitely pay for some convenience or to be in a certain space, place, and time. I want to be comfortable, convenient. But if I don't get it, I think this is the caveat. If you don't get it, I don't think you're going to throw a tantrum.
Oh no.
I think if you understand that, okay, If it was there for me to get and I could get it and I had a means to get it, cool. But if I can't, then I can move on.
Too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's funny. We're talking about spoiling your children because what you're really doing is developing a spoiled adult, a trauma-filled adult. But that's okay because that's job security for Doc.
So I'm glad that job security, the world keep going like it's going.
Man, one day you're going to have to elaborate on that, Doc. We might have to take that offline.
Next show.
Yeah, something like that. So what are the effects? And I think we touched on a few of them, but what are the effects of spoiling your children? And when I say that, like increased, then now from a like moving into an adult. So what you're really developing is someone who becomes dependent.
I've seen it go both ways though. I've seen people who you mentioned always getting what they want, right? And so sometimes a child can get so accustomed to getting what they want that they become an adult who's accustomed to getting what they want. And sometimes they'll do the work to get it because I want what I want.
And
that I think that's okay. But then there are other times where it's like, I want what I want by any means necessary, by hook or crook, legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. You know what I'm saying? So that it's probably not so good. And so I've really seen it go both ways, but it just depends on like the resiliency and the logical thinking of the person.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a certain type of drive because I know individuals who were not spoiled and they display what you just described. But if they're spoiled in the way that we're kind of in that track that we're talking about, I think they'll be dependent on people solving things for them because we're going to get into a question about what some of the mistakes that parents make that create these things. But I think they become dependent. They become
some
dependent
of them, I think so.
Because they're because if the work to get you have to work and put in effort to get the things that you want, that doesn't just pop up one day. That's something that has to be evolved, that has to be ingrained, just like it be programmed, even in right. Like in every other area of life. But the increased irresponsibility, because if you've never had to do anything to get what you want to do, you become irresponsible. And because when things come easy, you don't care much as I know the car that I had to pay for myself got a little bit more different treatment than the one that was gifted to me.
Amen.
And it's just that type of thing, because you got to correlate the sweat equity put into a thing it also gives it its value. And so if you've never had to do anything for anything, you won't value anything.
I get that.
Yeah.
And what you don't value, you don't take care of.
Boom. Because you thought, I'll get another one. And they'll do that not only to tangible things,
but to people too.
Boom.
Throwing people away when you can't have your way.
Man, this alley-oop, if we play basketball, we'd be up by 20 right now. Because it's been dunkathons, three-pointers. We in this thing. So increased defiance and disrespect, as you pointed out. You was like, some things are just disrespect, so they definitely going to do that because they become disrespectful. Because when you don't tantrums as adults or not, they still have tantrums, but they'll be designed or come across in much different ways.
Sometimes they're not. I mean, I know grown people who fall out.
I'm sorry. I cannot view you as an adult if you're going to fall out and kick and scream. You seen this? You telling? But you gotta. I don't want to bring up the mental illness portion of it because there's always
this lady was fine. She was all right. I mean, so mental illness is real, right? But like depression is different from schizophrenia. So if a person with schizophrenia is falling out, you're like, oh, okay, this person got schizophrenia, they're hearing voices, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But this person who just has depression and they're falling out, that's a touch different. So the person I'm speaking about that was falling out, she was all right.
I've seen people who are, but now mental illness and drug addiction, that takes you to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I seen a grown lady just like, I had to chase this lady. Story time. I had to chase a woman down the street because I was just concerned with her. She, we had a special program where, people who get their SSI checks or that check, crazy checks or whatever you want to call them.
You can't say crazy check no more. You gotta
Not
say
crazy
something. You
check.
gotta say SSI check.
The SSI check.
Disability.
I was good from the jump. I don't know why I tried to go too far.
I don't know why you did
I
that.
don't know why either. I apologize if I've offended anyone out there in the.
I'm offended. I'm just go ahead. Story time.
Oh, let me borrow $1. I know you got a check. Wow, but go ahead. So the SSI check, and so she had left her debit card or the card in one of the ATMs somewhere. They never a card, but she wanted to go get some money out with no ID, no card, no nothing.
Oh no.
I said, ma'am, we cannot give you the money because we have no ID. She said, but I'm telling you, I'm me. She was so serious.
She was so serious.
So freaking serious. And it was like, y'all are trying to kill me because, she's probably going to go get that fixed. The body is like, we need what we need. So I could tell she was hurting. Unfortunately, I'm familiar with it, been around it and seen it before. So, which gave me a lot of compassion for her. And now I wasn't giving her no money. Not going to do that. I can't help you. But I wanted to calm her down. I said, she is going to run out. And this is in downtown Dallas. She ran into this beautiful building. She just like a kid, y'all trying to kill us, like fall on the wall, balling up in a ball. And we got executive, chief executives coming out the building because they seen me go after this person. And I'm just trying to console them and say, here are the steps you need to take. At least I want you to have the information so you can get this fixed. I know you need your money, you want your money, but this is what you're going to have to do. Nobody's trying to take your money. Nobody's trying to hurt you. And I just felt really bad for her. And they were, like, Eric, why did you come out here and you didn't think she could hurt you? Stop it, man. But that just show you a whole nother different spectrum mindset. But we'll get back to our sport because they were spoiled. They ain't never had to deal with nothing. So.
I think, and then another thing that I don't think that you said, if you did my bad, but there's a lack of empathy when you're spoiled.
Oh,
you can't relate to other people. You don't understand. Great. You like pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, I ain't got no damn boots.
Man, come on with it. Come on with it. And they pass that down to their kids too.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a great call out, Doc. So those are some of the effects of spoiling. Some of the effects of spoiling your children. And I think it's dangerous. We've seen examples like was it the Menendez twins that killed their parents?
Well, they said the daddy was touching on the one. I don't know if I believe that or not, but if he was touching on him, then
it's hard because who else you tell? You never told anybody. You never said anything to anybody.
Therapist.
They told a therapist.
Yeah.
But the therapist had the client that they couldn't say nothing on. No, if you get told that, you can tell the police. If
you have to tell the police
being committed.
So you have to, tell right? The therapist? Because how they got caught was the therapist's girlfriend told on them or something like that.
The therapist's girlfriend.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, and I do watch a lot of true crime, so I could be mixing my stories.
I love it. I watch true crime all the time.
If I remember correctly, or maybe that was the Lifetime rendition.
No, that's what they said when they got on the stand. Then they released all that, but nobody knew.
Right. I think the therapist knew though. But and the issue was nobody in the family had heard about this alleged touch and molestation until after the murder. But why else would they kill their parents?
I can't call.
Now I got to go watch it.
Man, sometimes people, I don't know why people have a hard time accepting the plain flat truth. The money.
Well, they ain't got no money now. They locked up. They married and stuff.
But that shows you the irresponsibility. That shows you the irresponsibility, the disconnection, because you just think you're gonna get away with stuff. Mm-hmm. You think it's gonna be all right when you.
Well, because everything else had always been all right. Why wouldn't that be?
I know parents get you out of everything. Everything gets swept over because you got the bread. So they wanted the bread. So they did what they did. So now you got these spoiled. So Doc, you got these spoiled children. They
I think my
you
kids.
didn't know, you didn't, not you, but you didn't know. You know, you were just parenting like you had been programmed to parent, just doing the best you can.
Right,
So no criticism, no calling you out.
right.
You don't know what you don't know. But
Exactly.
now you watch the Perspective podcast. You done got all these tips and like, damn, I done spoiled my child. So how do you handle the spoiled child now? How we start making steps to correct our errant ways.
Man, I don't even know. Sometimes I feel like at a certain point, children just are who they are. I mean, that's what I think. But I guess if you really wanted to change it, you have to put some consequences in place that matter to that child.
Come on, Doc.
That's what you would have to do.
Come on, Doc.
Give me a minute, I'll get there. You
I
know?
know, I know. And I'm gonna let the viewers know. I be putting Doc under pressure. I be like, tell us. And you see me like, what you ain't come on. No, but
Disclaimer: I do not work with children. Do not slide in my DMs, my inbox, my email asking me about your children. You got to be 18 and up
I'm
to be
sorry,
seen
everybody.
by Latoya the therapist because
I'm
I
sorry,
could,
everyone. I'm sorry, everyone.
and
Forgive
I
us.
don't want
That
to
is absolutely not true. She works with children
do
every
not.
single day because she has some.
I
She has
parent
a
those
she has a
children.
front
I
row
don't
seat.
work with them.
They don't know they're being worked on, but I know the truth. No, I'm kidding everybody. I'm giving a hard time. But so how do you handle spoiled children? Just a few things to keep in mind.
Consequences.
I said, and I wanted to lead with this: be kind and also respectful. I don't care. I'll fight you in the street about, yes, you got to respect children because they're human beings.
They don't respect you. No, I'm just kidding.
They're human beings. And you have to demonstrate what it is that you would like to see. Whatever you pouring in, the
I
seeds
think
you
that's
sow for you sow seed, you reap what you sow. So what you put
because
out and you demonstrate is going to be reciprocated back to you. So be kind, be respectful, but you have to be firm. You still have to be as a parent, become responsible. And I'll elaborate on the responsibility. Like you really you got to check yourself and say, man, I know I want to give my children everything all the time, but I can't. And when I set boundaries, be firm on them. If I said a week, hell no, I don't care that the grade came up in 3 days. I said a week, it's going to be a week. Set boundaries, stay firm.
hold on, let me slide.
Like,
So
go ahead.
one thing that you said was you gotta show what you want to see. That's what you said. Like you gotta model what you want to see. 1,000% agree. Children are gonna always do what you do and not what you say. I learned that with my first baby. I was a single mom, and I used to talk on the phone and clean up and be like, "Girl, that." So when I would go tell her to clean up her room, she would get her little play phone,
Wow.
hold it up to her ear, and then be like, "Girl, yes,
To the detail, huh?
yes." I said, "Baby, I got to change my life. That's why my children be cussing. I'm working on it though."
She said, I gotta change my life.
I'm talking about children, and
I take a little cussing
they're
over
not
being
watching.
spoiled, though. I take a
Nah,
little
nah,
cussing
my
over
kids are
being
good.
spoiled.
But even when you think they're not watching you, they are watching. People think they do such a good job of like hiding what they got going on. Children just know.
I don't know what it is. It's
They just know.
no. I'm speaking from my own childhood. There was nothing that my mother was involved in that I wasn't aware of. I mean, I held it for years, and it was. I don't know if it was traumatic, Doc, but I remember. I'm talking about from like second, third grade, and then always knowing that what's really going on. So something is happening. They think I don't know what the culprit is or what it's about, but I'm absolutely aware because I've seen it with my eyes, heard it. And then I remember getting in about the seventh grade. I was like, oh, I'm gonna change my mama's life. Everything gonna change when I let her know that I know. Like, and I know you do this. I seen you do blank, blank, blank. And I thought it was going to be impactful and shake the core of a foundation and she's going to change. It don't work that way. So that was even more traumatic. That's a whole nother, that was another lesson, but that'll be another show at some other
Another
time.
show for another day.
Right. But kids do know.
They know everything.
I remember somebody I really wasn't even that fond of growing up. It was my like my step grandfather, and I remember they were doing some having some conversation, and he said, "I don't know why y'all act silly. Y'all act like that boy don't know. He know." He was like, "Y'all walk around here like he's stupid. He ain't stupid. He know what's going on." And I was like,
"Sure do."
And it gave me some. It made me affectionate toward him. I had an affinity. It like released some of the "I don't like you" in me. I was like, "Oh, okay,
he cool. Like he see me.
He cool. At least he's speaking the truth. He ain't dumb. You know what I mean?" But nevertheless, absolutely, children know what's going on. So whatever you do and whatever you model is what you're going to get back. So that's why when I say responsible, parents got to be. You got to be maybe strategic. You really got to be strategic and responsible and be firm. So you need to set the plate the way you want it done. Right. So what you would like to see out of your children, which is a great. It's hard because we've already been indoctrinated with alternate type of things. So when we come into new knowledge, it's like, I've already developed these damn badass habits, and how am I going? And it's so
tough.
And either you're gonna shake or break. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's so tough.
Yeah. Like my older children, I actually tell them, because things that I'm trying to, they're in their 20s, so I'm trying to guide them in that space at that time. I have to tell them, I say, listen, I'm telling you this. I know you don't see this particular practice, and I'm not saying this is good, but it's just the truth. I said, I've already developed, I'm so far down that path and developed such bad habits in that way, it's hard for me to break it. I'm telling you now, so you don't even develop it. This is the gift I can give you.
Right. They got to see you at least try though. You got
to. They do. Oh, absolutely they do. That's a good call out, Doc. I would want people to know that. It's not like, hey, I'm just this and I ain't doing it. But when they see me struggle, if they see me break or shake, right. Like, man, this is, I'm talking about this 20, 30 years of habit. I didn't know this before.
Right.
When I became into the knowledge, and now you're up in age, and I'm trying to give it to you and say, hey, don't go down. Don't go to, when you get to that crossroad, it's going to be an old building. You're going to turn left. Don't go right. Turn left. Because if you turn right, it's that force to death down there, and it's bats, bears, tigers, and chains, and snakes, and and everything, and you don't want none of that. And they were like, Dad, you made it. I said, I don't know how.
Barely.
I said, now if I showed you my scars, you wouldn't even want to play. So go to the left at the old rickety house with the tree with the handprint on it. Anyway, so
I'm so mad at the old rickety house.
You know how they do. You think you go on down there and you're gonna see this old house.
White car in the yard.
It's gonna be a tree right there on the corner. It's gonna look like a handprint on that tree. When you get to that tree, I don't know why I changed my voice.
I was gonna ask after it just keeps happening. Like
it's automatic. I can't help what scene come out you, I suppose. It just, I don't know, that's affiliated with that moment. But I'm like, you go down there, you make a left. You make a left at that tree. Don't go right. Because you go right, that's down there, that's the dark force of death is that way. You don't want to go that way. So anyway, set, and also how do you handle spoiled children? Talked about being kind, be respectful, and then I'm going to add in, Doc said, definitely model what you want to see, and when you set, and then be firm. Just learn to be firm.
I also think it's consistency though. Like you have to be consistent in whatever the consequence is.
Yeah.
If I say don't jump up and down, don't jump up and down. And then every time I have to enforce it. Every time. Ain't no slacking. Because the minute you slack, you're teaching them that, well, if I catch her on the right day, I can jump up and down.
Get away with it. You know what I mean? If you let them you can do it 10 times in a row. You let them get away with it the 11th, then you're gonna have to go 15.
Yes,
the
you got to
next
start
time.
over.
So you gotta and see, I think the way you begin, and Doc, you tell me in the psychology of things, I think it's easier to soften up over time than it is to be soft
Absolutely.
and then try to be firm. And that goes for children, that goes for adults,
Relationships,
that goes for
dogs,
personal
everything.
life, that goes for professional life.
Yep.
If you're a manager of people, you can't be laxed and then all of a sudden try to come in and set down all these parameters. What you're going to do is run everybody off. They're going to either resign or quit or whatever the case may be. There's going to be a headache doing until they do, and then you're going to have a whole new team. So you always have to start off firm and then loosen up as that's earned. Yeah, we've been kind of ignoring our viewers, unfortunately. Mr. Gill, you said the first offense should be the most serious offense. Man, that's that's my job. That's what I'm talking about. That right there, because I mean, for years I'm like, if you make the first one very, very severe, it increases the percentages that you don't even have to go there again. Because no one wants to really punish their children or put their children in a situation where they're unhappy. But that's love to me. That's love. I think, that's real care. When you're preparing someone for what they're really going to encounter and see throughout life, regardless of my daughters know now, we got a moniker. I say, F your feelings. This ain't about damn how you feel. What is it you have to do? That's what we focusing on.
And so here, and my heart just bleeds because I understand that you're right. Your feelings, but the therapist in me.
No, that's the mama. That's the mama. That's the mama in you.
Is like, hold on, let sis feel her feelings and then do what she gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on, you right.
Is that the therapist or is that the mama?
No, that's the therapist. Because my mama, how she raised me, child cheese. The way I let my children cry, my mama would never.
You let them, man, that's so awesome. Because I was doing my research. They was like, some of the things you got to do is you got to let a baby cry. You got to let them cry.
Yeah.
That's actually
because here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This, especially with my boys, you need to know how to cry so that you're not walking around here with this pent up anger. My boys are gonna be tall, right? So you're gonna be big black men in America. You can't walk around here all upset. You need to know how to articulate yourself. If you're upset, that's cool. You upset, you mad, that's fine. My husband hate that I taught them that, but I mean, like, you get to be mad. You don't get to throw a fit. You don't get to throw things, but you get to be mad. Like, go in your room and feel your feelings.
Yeah.
But so the clinician in me is like, feel your feelings.
Yeah. But even though you just described what I just described. So
but you was hard. You was like, F your feelings. What you gonna do?
Listen, I don't just do it like that and walk out the room. It ain't that type of party.
I agree with you.
What you explain, probably not as clinically as you would explain it, but I'm like, listen, I understand that. And you are well within your rights to be upset or to be sad, to whatever feelings you're feeling. I said, however, there is still what needs to be done still needs to be done. Agreed. So what we're not going to do is allow your feelings to override the responsibility that you have. That is, you need to understand that that's always going to be there. It takes precedence. And yes, feel your feelings, deal with them, but get over that. And you still got to do, matter of fact, go do it while you feeling the way you feel. I think it's a good exercise.
I like that too. I like that. That's not how I do it, but I can see how that could be effective as well. I think that's great.
I mean, of course, Doc, depending on what the thing is, if you and your feelings you don't need to go drive
because this is what you said.
You drive the city bus. You're emotionally jacked up right now, and you got other people's lives. I'm gonna go do my surgery now, but you go sit your tail down somewhere. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So now, depending on the circumstances, but if it's something simple, no, or something that's not dangerous, like, hey, work through that, but you need to get that done. So I know individuals who've been made to go do chores, and I don't care. You can be upset. But black parents take it to another level. They'll try to make you do something, know it's upsetting, but then you better look happy while you're doing it.
I don't do that.
I don't do that. I think that's trauma inducing.
That's a little abusive to me.
That is abusive. I
really think some older black parents like got off beating on their kids. Like you like bullying kids. Like you like that.
I'm gonna throw this out here, then we're gonna move past it. A lot of parents, they parent with their ego. Period.
Yeah, a lot of parents were bullies.
Indeed.
Like you bullying, like this kid ain't got no win. They can't defend themselves. They can't fend for themselves. Like they can't do anything. And this how you acting? You're a bully. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're a loser. Stop being a loser.
Yeah. Look, okay, Doc was serious. Like what and who? What? Don't make me call JG. Yeah. No, so also setting and enforcing house rules. I know we kind of lightly touched on that.
Yeah.
But like you really need to set some rules.
Right.
Just give them, it's almost like giving them a gauntlet. These are rules. Give them something to practice on. And then when you set those rules by, like Mr. J. Gilliard said, by, make on the first offense, make it very harsh.
Right.
So that you can start instilling that, hey, when you have instructions, you have rules or boundaries in place, we don't cross those boundaries because there's consequences to that. Anything on that, Doc?
I think like the parents have to follow the rules too, to an extent. It goes back to that modeling behavior. You can't be like, and this is a sore point for me, but you can't be like, put the toilet seat down, and then nobody else puts the toilet seat down but the kid. They're not going to learn how to put the toilet seat down like that.
And we just talked about how they pay attention to everything. You're getting on them about not keeping their room clean,
and then your room trash.
Your room is like trash, and don't have them cleaning up after you, and don't have them doing something that you ain't never modeled before.
Right.
I think because they're not so silly. They're like they done dirted up 4 plates today, and I'm the one that's got to clean all 4 plates, and I ain't dirted up 1 plate. What's that like? Where they do that?
What's going on there? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah, no, they really come to those understandings. So anyway, but it's, you know what? They were probably spoiled as a child. That was a damn problem with that parent. It extends to many. It extends to many. So also in ways to how you handle spoiled children. So of course we want to think about ways to kind of start curtailing that because it's going to be rough. You said the key word consistency. So consistency in setting those boundaries, consistency in
consequences. People don't change without consequences.
Exactly. And then with the consequences, also, and I definitely want to hear your take on this, Doc. When you do get the desired results you're looking for, or even before bad habits form, reward good habits or good behavior.
Absolutely. Positive reinforcement. Absolutely.
Yeah. Rewarded behavior gets repeated.
But I have to say that you got to kind of know your child too, because some children don't need an attaboy. Some children want a hug. Some children want a lollipop. Some children want a Roblox. And it doesn't always have to be where you're buying something, but I think you have to congratulate or positively reinforce in a language that matters to them.
Thank you, Doc. That's I think those are important details. It's not always about stuff. And I would actually refrain from stuff so much as because given, telling them how important that is or highlighting that this is the benefit for you doing that. Or give them something like it may be just time together, go do something fun. It doesn't necessarily have to be a tangible toy or money or something like that. I say, man, go tell them, hey, I opened it, I like that. That was very responsible of you. So I went and opened up an account for you, and I'm going to be putting this amount in for you. I'm just saying it could be something because really, you want to try to set your children up to save and instilling good habits. Like when they do get money, I think another thing, just a caveat, is to always make them save some of it. They don't get to spend up everything that they get. And if they do, and if there's anything they're doing, or they get, create some way to instill work that they have to earn those things.
I go back and forth with that because sometimes you can do that too much, and then people start to equate their worth with work. And you're worth more than your work. You don't have to always be serving to be worthy or to deserve rest or money or one-on-one time. So I go back and forth on that one.
Yeah. And I think it's balance. And again, I think it'll always come down to, specific circumstances. Because your children, you're gonna provide for them. And I don't know how I feel about people say, well, I house you, I clothe you, I feed you. That's good enough, right? But then again, there's a logical part of me, and Doc are probably gonna be mad at me because I told my daughters, I said, man, nobody owes you anything.
No, I agree with that.
I said, not your mama and not your daddy either.
I agree with that.
I say now, is it right or is it proper or healthy for a mother or father to be like, okay, you here now, I don't give a damn. I say, but it happens. I say, so don't think anyone owes you anything, that they have to spend their money on you, that they have to care about your well-being, your health. So there's too many examples where people who have had children and they lock them in closets and beat them and kill them and put them in cars and drown them and, do all kind of other horrible things. I said, so just keep that in mind so that you can be, try to instill some being grateful for what you have, what people do for you, in that regard. So those
I always like to say, you can't tell other people what to do with their money. Nobody has to buy you anything. Nobody has to take you anywhere. I don't owe you going out to eat. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell people what to do with their money. And balance, nuance to everything. But I'm not saying just have your challenge just because you got a roof and a plate, like you good, because it's more to it than that. But I also think that the child has to come from a place of respect. That just makes it easier for you to spend your money.
Oh, absolutely. Which, to me, that's rewarding. That's reinforcing that behavior.
Yeah.
Because I remember a memory of my uncle, like just taking me out somewhere. Me and him just went and had a steak dinner, and I was like, it was just out the blue. He said, "Man, I was, it was a piece of paper on the floor." He said, "Your cousin walked by, the other cousin walked by, hell, even their mama walked by." He said, "But you walked, you saw it, you stopped, you picked it up and put it in the trash." It was something that, and I'm gonna tell you, stuck with me to this day. I'm 48 years old. I remember it.
Picking up all the papers.
It became a problem. I find myself putting carts up out at the damn Walmarts and Targets and going on. I'd be like, man, why they leave this on the grass part? I can't just leave carts on the grass because I feel like it's like, let me too many of them. And then I take them, put them in the cart, straighten them up. Sometimes I just go too damn far. I damn near cleaned up an aisle in Kroger last night. Somebody knocked over the centerpiece. I damn near cleaned it all up. Like, man, that's really messed up. But anyway, so reinforcing those things, rewarding good behavior reinforces that behavior. We're kind of coming down to the last 10 minutes. So we want to, here's the main thing. So how are we getting in this how are we getting in this situation, Doc? So what are mistakes parents are making from the beginning in this regard?
Parents are guilt parenting. They're parenting from a place of guilt. They're parenting from a place of hurt. And so they're overindulging their child. I don't spank my children. My children do not get whoopings. But that's because I got whoopings and I didn't like it. I know how I felt when I got whoopings. I want my children to feel like that. So they don't get whoopings.
Well, how do you punish them, Doc?
I take their stuff away. which to some people is cruel, but I will snatch a TV off the wall, out your room. I will take a tablet out of your hand. I will make you eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to go to bed.
Mm-hmm. No, I think yeah, you cut social media off if they are engaged in that type of thing or that game, because that's how they communicate and talk to friends anyway. It ain't
See,
even about going.
I used to spank, and I used to spank my daughter, and I probably should spank the boys because she the best one. But I just don't. I just when you know
That
better,
you're
you do better.
contradicting all your good work.
When you know better, you do better. And at the time when I
I
had
know.
her, I didn't know better.
No, but was it effective though? That's what I'm looking at.
Some people be
I'm an outcome based viewer. So
super
did you
decent.
get the desired outcome?
Yes and no. Yes, she is very well behaved, very mannerable, like good in school, blah blah blah. But no, in the aspect that like there was fear. I don't really necessarily want you to be scared of me. I just want you to respect me.
Little reverence and little reverence is healthy.
Uh, you one of them.
Well, now I was really kind of picking at my BIBLE family.
Yo, what?
BIBLE family.
Uh huh.
Because I'm nice. Because the Lord, it's good to fear the Lord. The Lord He wants to
I
be
ain't the
feared
Lord, so
and,
don't
and
fear me.
reverenced and revered. No, I'm just saying the fact of being afraid. But I mean, I so let me challenge you on this. So if being afraid keeps you from maybe if it keeps you from becoming spoiled, if it causes and invokes you to think and second guess and make decisions more rationally, is it bad?
Not when you put it like that, no.
So,
But when
but
you
I'm
do get in trouble and you afraid of me, you not gonna call me. You gonna try to figure it out on your own, and that's gonna make the trouble worse. Don't be afraid to call me because I might be mad, but I'm always coming.
mhm. um yeah. I now of course we already know that nothing is monolithic in
Oh,
nature.
nothing.
There's always outliers and anomalies.
Right.
And I'm not trying to even defend the whooping because I've you know I have two daughters and I've gotten to see the impact of them. You know, they lived in my home with me on extended periods of time in part and in different ages and stages of life. So that's another point. All of the stuff we're talking about, it really is age and understanding appropriate.
True.
So it will change and evolve as they grow older. What really is going to be? I mean, what can you expect between the ages of 0 to 4, the ages of from 4 to 8? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That perspective. No pun intended, but looking at it in that range. So everybody definitely keep that in mind. However, you said a key point about it depends on what's effective. That's my thing. I'm an outcome based individual, so what's going to get me the desired result that we're looking for? I've been a stepfather. I was leading with my daughters have been in my home in different times. So the way that to discipline each is different and was different. And then also I've been a stepfather of boys.
Boys are different.
And so with them, there was one you could whoop him every day if you like, and they were not a bad kid in general, but definitely would step out of line and do some things. But a whooping was not effective. But if you took them Jordans off his feet and made him wear just some
Some regular.
Albertson Al six specials, oh, I'm serious. Talking to him, really trying to, and I'm not whooping. I'm like, man, why are you conducting yourself this way? Why are you handling yourself this way? Just stoic. Mom whooped him, no tears,
Mm,
none. Could take
mm.
it. I kind of, of course, I respected it because I was that kid. But then I'm sitting there talking to him. I'm like, hey, this can't continue. Now something gonna have to give.
Right.
And his mom calmed down, sat for a while, and it was kind of funny. It was like a movie scene because she was watching TV, laying on the couch, and I'm talking, and she say, "It's okay, Eric. Don't worry about it." She say, "What I'm gonna do is take them shoes, and he gonna have to wear them Albertsons Aisle 6 specials." And he sat there, and, and tears will swole up in his eyes.
Wow.
And tears just rolled down. I was astonished and amazed. I'm like, it's like magic, man. It was like somebody took a belt or a stitching cord across his back or his behind, man. It was serious, and he was hurt deeply, and it resulted in the outcomes that we were looking for. More critical thinking, definitely followed suit. If anything was said, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, it got done. Things weren't forgotten so easily. You know what I mean? So you made a great point about some of the mistakes that we make. I think parents do this trying to befriend their children, trying to be their children's friend, being afraid for their children to be disappointed, upset, or angry with them.
Yeah.
I don't accept it, but she knows the truth. But the
But I was about to say, with everything else, it's nuanced and it's situational, right? Like, there are certain things that as a mom I'm going to do, and you like it, love it, I don't care, you're going to respect it. There are other things I'm going to do, and I'm going to want to know, how do you feel about it? Do you want to do this? You know what I mean? So I think it's just picking and choosing in those moments.
Okay. Any thoughts from we hadn't read any
Well, I don't see any, but last week I didn't see none either. So if you see some that I didn't catch, you can put them up there, but I don't see any.
I'm gonna show this.
Don't see it, and he does. The Lord was protecting me.
Mr. J. Gee said, "I spanks."
Yeah, I don't know why I can't see the comments no more.
Brother Rod, spoil the child.
I'm sick of it.
Indeed. I no, that's my argument for folks. I'll be like, and that's in Proverbs, isn't it?
I wonder why I can't see the comments though.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last one I see is the first offense should be the most serious offense. But that's fine. He does spank our children. I'm good with that. I'm not one of them parents that be like, no. And like jump in the middle, like that's their daddy. You want to spank him, spank him.
Got it. And also Mr. J. Gilliard, he said, but I also let a lot of things slide. Indeed. No, because I think it is. I don't think you should punish for everything, because I'm definitely going to try to have that conversation first and say, hey, this is what I expect, set those expectations. And then if, because, some things are mistakes. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to, judge that. If it's something you absolutely and unequivocally I knew that you knew, oh, it's on and popping.
Okay, what's your takeaway? This man said it's on and popping.
So, so not letting and I wanted to say one of the things that parents do, they don't let their kids cry things out.
I do.
So no, you supported that, so I feel some type of way about that. Like, I don't know, it's like Doc agree, he's got to be real, and then and they try to fix every issue and challenges that their children face. They do not allow them to. They don't allow them to feel the heat enough, and then you really got to allow your children to fail, and then be close to watch how they respond to that, so you can guide. Not input what you would do and exactly how you would do it, but to guide. And then I think, and another thing is, because we're down to 2 minutes, putting their children before their marriage or their partner or their mate.
Yeah, that's a problem. My mama told me a long time ago, when you get married, you married that person. Your children gonna grow up, they're gonna get their own life, and they're gonna leave you. you want to be left alone or not.
Gotcha. All right, we down to the last minute, everybody. And so we really want to thank everybody for viewing, whether you commented or didn't. Your presence is really important. Make sure you go onto all of the social sites, Instagram, on Perspective page. Make sure you like, share, all that good stuff. Go to the YouTube page for BS3 Network. Make sure you like it, share it, and subscribe. So when shows come on, you're getting notifications. You get to see that. Also, man, another shout out to our co-host Keisha, who wasn't here. Hope everything is kosher and smooth with you. We'll have her back next week. So with that being said, we really appreciate everyone. Hey, don't be spoiling your kids.
Don't be enabling your kids.
And don't be enabling your kids.
We'll see y'all next week.
Holla.
You are now tuned to